You know, serving in the military is a choice that goes far beyond just doing a job. It can be motivated by many things, not the least of which is the desire to help others. And in the hearts of those that have that desire, there lives a deep patriotism and love of country. We're here to honor the service of a veteran who made that choice.
Time for us to show our appreciation and give back to those who have sacrificed
for your service to our country.
This is Military Makeover.
Adam LoBrutto, a Navy corpsman. He served with the United States Marine Corps on the battlefield in Iraq and other duty stations in the Middle East. I have to tell you, a corpsman is probably one of the toughest, most dangerous jobs that the military has to offer today. Hoorah!
When I was in high school, I was going to, and I knew I was going to join the military. I figured I'd be a mechanic. I was going through mechanic school at the time, and I had a dear friend shot and killed. And I watched him essentially die, and there was nothing I could do about it. That helpless feeling was something that I never wanted to have again. So when I had the opportunity to join the Navy and go with the Marines as a corpsman, I couldn't say no. So I went to Southern California to Field Medical Service School. At the time, it was the school to train naval personnel to go with Marine Corps units. A little bit rougher medical style. They teach you field medicine and how to deal with the Marine Corps way of life. When you're a corpsman with the Marine unit, you have to be able to do everything a Marine can do. You are a fighter aside from being a corpsman. And when it comes time, God forbid I have to do my job, I will hopefully do it at the best of my ability and get them home safe to their family. When I joined the reserves in 2006, I had been slotted for deployment to go to Iraq. When that opportunity came up, I couldn't pass up on it. These were my family, and I'm gonna go with them and do what I was trained to do.
Marrying a military guy, even dating a military guy, was a very new experience for me. I'd never been in any kind of relationship with anyone who traveled, doing what he did, and going overseas and going long periods of time with him being very far away. Not always the best communication. It was definitely a new experience.
You're 17 years in right now?
Yeah.
And you're still in the inactive reserve?
Yeah, I'm in active reserve at the moment.
Okay. And being a corpsman is it's got to be one of the nastiest, toughest jobs in the military. People don't realize that a battlefield corpsman has to make those sacrifices and is in that much danger. They think he's a medical person. Oh, somebody brings the wounded guy to you, No, that's not the way it works in the field.
When I returned from my latest deployment, I had some health issues. So I was like, let me actually go talk to a doctor. And in the meantime, I'll talk to my recruiters, get going, start getting everything ready to go back active reserve.
Yeah.
And got diagnosed with COPD.
You've had it. But it happens, Military's rough. You don't go to the corner office and have a nice view. Damn, you don't. You go to the battlefield. It's physical as hell, and after 20, 30 years of that, you need the VA hospital, and you need to be looked after physically and mentally.
I now work for the Department of Veterans Affairs Readjustment Counseling Service. We provide readjustment counseling for combat vets and their families and military sexual trauma vets. And it's one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had in my life.
You want a snack?
Yes. We had our son shortly after we were married, and his name is Gavin. He is 5, but if you ask him again, he will tell you he is 5.5. He's been such a blessing. Extremely smart, full of energy, your typical boy. We are in the process of becoming foster parents. About a year ago, Becky and I brought up the conversation one night, not realizing that either one of us had that in our hearts to do.
There's a lot of kids, unfortunately, in our area that live in shelters because there's no homes. If we can provide a loving home for children versus them living
It breaks my heart that kids live in shelters. I don't think any child should have to live in a group home or in a shelter. And the fact that we have the space and we have the ability to help a child, to keep them from having to live in a state home, we have to do it.
You know, Art, being a corpsman with the Fleet Marine Corps has got to be one of the most toughest, deadliest jobs in the world.
I agree with you. You know, saving lives while the fight goes on, well, it doesn't get any tougher than that, except for maybe working next to you.
Oh, nice. A little shot over the bow there on that one, huh? You can twist things around. You know, you need to find something to do.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to work.
Work.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's a joke. I've never, ever seen you work.
Come on, Gunny. It's one of my favorite four-letter words, other than, you know,
Look, you look, it appears as though you've just stepped out of a Sears and Roebuck magazine, for Pete's sake. You don't do any
You're
work around
perfectly
here.
dressed. I'm not perspiring. What are you doing, Gunny?
Well, I'm supervising. That's what I do. Come on, we'll find some work for you to do. Let's see if we can find something.
It's a scorcher. You know what's worse than heat and humidity? When your home's air conditioning breaks down.
Oh no.
That's when they call me, an independent Goodman dealer. I'll install a new, energy-efficient, refreshingly affordable Goodman air conditioner. When your home feels like it's the hottest place on earth, it's good to know there's a local Goodman dealer nearby.
Daddy's home.
Hey!
Long day.
Thank goodness for Goodman.
The simple goal of this makeover is to improve this home for the veteran and his entire family. And along the way, we're going to leave them a few gifts that they'll enjoy for a long, long time.
Well, one of the most important parts of any home, especially here in South Florida, is your heating and cooling unit. And fortunately, we have Chris from Premier Comfort Services Incorporated installing a brand new Goodman system. Chris, thanks for being a part of our military makeover. What brings you here today?
As a veteran myself, I mean, I really wanted to help out the family, and I jumped on the opportunity to you know, help a fellow brother in arms.
Well, we really appreciate you being here, and you've got some great stuff that you're bringing for the family here today. What are we installing?
Well, we're installing a brand new Goodman 16 SEER high efficiency system that's gonna cool the home efficiently, keep the bills low, and keep the humidification low as well.
So in a slightly older home, there's going to be a little bit of a challenge with installation. You had to get up in the crawl space up in the attic, right?
Particularly with older homes, the older systems aren't designed for today's high efficiency, the amount of air that has to be moved over a short period of time. So we had to add some return air ducts to the homes to circulate the air properly, give them a much more comfortable feeling.
And now there's some great new advancements that we have, especially in the way of the thermostat. You can do everything from your phone, right?
Absolutely. Giving them a brand new Wi-Fi thermostat where they can control their system from anywhere in the world. The thermostat will remind them via their cell phone when it's time to change the filters. And if there's any issues, it'll alert them to give us a call.
You know, that's excellent because of their respiratory issues that the family has.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have that nice, clean, fresh, cool air, low humidity.
Absolutely. And it's going to be even flow throughout the entire house.
You'll come back later in the makeover and give us all the technical specs on this big, beautiful Goodman unit, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Art.